Alright, so as usual, taking a look at things that I find interesting or that I found to be useful for me. This is actually, I think, a pretty cool little device because it's very lightweight, it's relatively small. You could use it for camping. I think it's really nice to have in your car, so long as you kind of keep it charged up. But if you're sitting the car outside, you know, and you're not in a garage or a covered setup, then you'll have the ability to charge it that way. So basically you have a car charger, the USB port here with, of course, the little indicator, your USB cable with a barrel connector on one end. You can use this in the house. I've actually used it to charge it indoors, and a micro USB cable is included. So there's the box, nothing too special there, and some documentation. Basically this will give you some information. You can check out more of the information on the link that'll be below the video, but you basically have a charging time that is approximately 6 hours in optimal sunlight. Now optimal is going to be the key because you're not going to get optimal sunlight throughout the entire day. Usually the middle of the day you'll get a short window, so you may find yourself needing to charge this in your car or using this to charge in your home. In doing so, this is a 2000 milliamp non-replaceable 18650 battery type. There's two of them, so you're going to be looking at probably 4 to 6 hours charging from what I found, and I guess it'll vary depending on how depleted you allow it to become, so keep that in mind as well. 6000K cool white light. You have red LEDs. You can adjust the brightness of the white lights. You can have solid red or flashing red, so some pretty cool features. Keep in mind that when you're charging off of the USB port here and you're charging your telephone, you're not going to get the fastest charge, but any charge is better than no charge when you need it. So I think that's a very useful feature. However, you're only going to get 1 amp, so you're not going to charge at the highest rate, and you're probably going to be charging for quite some time if you're trying to go from completely dead to full for your devices, especially depending upon the device and what power requirements are needed. So here you have your input for your barrel connector for charging, your power and your brightness adjustment. Sorry, this is the actual input here. This is your power. This is the LED. You can see it illuminate when there's enough light hitting it from above from the solar panel, receiving charge. And of course here's your 1 amp output. This is your solar panel, of course. This little compass, I guess that's sort of handy, but I don't know if that's 100% accurate all of the time. It may or may not be over the course of time. This handle is actually pretty cool. It rotates completely, so it becomes a stand of sorts for either your light or your solar panel. You can also carry it in different fashions depending upon how you need, and there's a hole here if you wanted to hang it on a small hook of some sort. And although this is probably my only real complaint, these little magnets here, they cannot hold the weight of this unit because there's just not enough power in these magnets. They're very, very weak, so I don't see them as being useful. And it doesn't matter which side you I mean, you can see no matter what type of metal I've tried sticking it to, it just doesn't do a very good job. So those are not adequate to hold it sufficiently. So the idea that you might be able to hang it by magnets, unless your product differs from mine, is just, it's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this outside, and I've already got some daytime video that I'll show you, and that will show you the area that we're going to be lighting up, so you have an idea of what it looks like in the daytime and what this light is capable of. Hopefully it'll help you to see that. What we're going to do right now, though, is just as a quick demonstration, go ahead and turn that off and turn that on, and if we press and hold this, we can dim that down to the dimmest, hold it down again and bring it to the brightest, change it to the red LEDs excuse me, and the red flashing LEDs. So if we had an emergency, or even if you were broke down and you had this in your car, you could put this up, and hopefully this would help to bring more attention besides your emergency flashers. Unless you had a battery situation that allowed you not to use them, then this would be very good for that purpose. And of course we can turn it back off again. Like I said, I do like how small it is, very lightweight, and it can pretty much tuck under the seat, behind the seat, even in the pocket behind the seat in some cases. Maybe even a center console or storage for some different vehicles that have some larger underseat storage and different options. So I wanted to share that with you right quick, and I will show you what this does and what it's capable of in terms of illumination in the dark in the area that really doesn't have any lights, as you will see. And again, you will see a daytime and a nighttime representation. So hopefully that'll give you some idea of what this light is capable of. Other than that, let's see, there's some more details on the Amazon page, and it's basically 48 or 49, I think it's 48 LEDs for the white light, and 12 LEDs for the red. Again, it is 6000K, cool white. You get about 40 flashes per minute when you're doing the red. You have the 5 volt, 1 amp output, as I told you, for charging your phone or tablet or whatever device you have plugged in, and expect to be somewhere in the 4 to 6 hour neighborhood for charging. 6 hours in optimal sunlight, and probably 4 to 6 roughly, again depending on how depleted you allow it to become. I generally try not to let it become too depleted, so times are going to vary on that. And with the fully charged battery, you can get a couple of hours of use out of it. It really depends on if you're using the red or the red flashing. You'll get a considerably longer amount of time with that, of course, than the white light, and depends on the brightness level you choose. But a couple hours and a couple hours plus, depending upon some of the less power hungry choices you make with the illumination. Okay, so thank you for watching, and check out please the day and nighttime representations of this light or the lighted area, and that's pretty much it. Thank you. Right, so daytime view of the area so you can see what the light is capable of. So this gives you an idea of the space. There's no lighting in here right now, just a movie screen. So kind of gives you an idea of the area and what you might expect as far as the lighting goes. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to share that little bit of daytime video so you kind of know what you're going to be looking at. Alright, so we'll see what it looks like at nighttime so you have an idea of what this light's capable of doing. Thanks. Alright, so you can see there's a pretty limited amount of light going on over here. You already saw the daytime, and you saw some specifics of the light itself. So let me go ahead and kick this light on and show you what it looks like in the event you are using it. Alright, so you can see a pretty substantial difference, and obviously it's darker back in this area. So it does a pretty good job of lighting up the area. And if we switch to the lower output, obviously that's not going to do a lot for us, but it will make us seen if we happen to be walking with it and using it to have other people see us. Now that is the red. Obviously that's not going to give you a huge amount of output, but again, this is more to be seen rather than anything else. So set that right in front of the car there, and just back up a little bit from that. So I said that does a pretty good job. Definitely becomes more noticeable. So there you go. That's with the light at the brightest, and that's what it looks like with no light back here. Again, no lights inside this area right now, so You can see it makes a very substantial difference. Again, very lightweight, very portable. Solar panel is a definite plus, and you can get a slow charge for a telephone or other device. So camping, which it's intended for, or in an emergency situation with a car, which is probably what I'll use it for more than anything else, definitely a nice option. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.